to continue on in this series of players that should be in the Hall of Fame over Draymond Green. Now, there's been 3 players so far that scored over 20,000 points, but they're not in the Hall of Fame. 2 of them we already covered. One being Joe Johnson, the other being Tom Chambers. Now, the third one is Antwan Jamison. Antwan Jamison should be in the Hall of Fame before Draymond Green. Yeah, I said it. Now, if you look at his career, awards portion of his career, if you look at it, yeah, he's a 2-time NBA All-Star, 6th Man of the Year in 2004, NBA All-Rookie Second Team. Those are his highlights of his NBA career. Now, if he's, I gotta remind some of these kids, some of these younger kids who Antwan Jamison was. Antwan Jamison was a big-time college recruit coming out of North Carolina. He was in McDonald's All-American in '95. He was also North Carolina's Mr. Basketball. And he ended up going to North Carolina, like so many others who went to North Carolina, you could say, and absolutely had an outstanding college career, which led him to be picked number 4 in the 1998 draft, first round, of course, by the Toronto Raptors, but I think he was traded to the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Golden State Warriors could have been some of his best years in the NBA, even though the Warriors were yeah, they was terrible. Now, I ain't even with this whole draft thing, I didn't think about it. Him and Vince Carter were both teammates in North Carolina, was traded for each other. So that's how Vince Carter got to the Toronto Raptors. But the Warriors years for him, like I said, was but he managed to score 51 points twice, but that doesn't guarantee you to go back in there. But that was back to back. That was back to back. Seattle and the Lakers. And that was a Kobe and Shaq Lakers, I think it might have been as well. And after his years in Golden State, he ended up going to Dallas for 1 year, playing with, of course, Dirk Nowitzki. I think that's when he became 6th Man of the Year there as well, but they didn't really do anything. And then probably his most, you could say, prosperous years in the NBA was the Washington Wizards, with that 3-head monster that really didn't do anything but Gilbert Arenas, him, and Caron Butler. And I think during those years he got his 2 All-Star bids, right? The Wizards just wasn't a good enough team to do anything. It was good enough for the playoffs, but it wasn't good enough for that. And then he went over to Cleveland after those years was over. Went to Cleveland for 2 years, and that was after LeBron left, of course. Was that after LeBron left? Nope. He did play with LeBron for a minute, because that was 2010. After that, he didn't play anymore, because LeBron went to Miami, and Cleveland became a absolute garbage show. And then after that, he went to the Lakers. And after, not with after the Lakers, he went to the Lakers. Of course, played with, Kobe Bryant and everything. But that didn't work out too well. Then he went to the Clippers. And that's when he finally got over the 20-point mark with the Clippers, just becoming the 39th player in NBA history to get that mark. And then he was traded from the Clippers, and after that, he retired. What I know most from Antwan Jamison, like I said, he was a scorer. He was a very good scorer, very good shooter in the mid-range at times. But defensively, I can't remember him being known for defense. Now that I think about it, he never really was. He did finish his career with 20,000 points, actually 20,042 points to be exact, over 8,000 rebounds, and over 1,000 assists, averaging 18.5 points a game, 7 rebounds, and 1.6 assists per game. I think his best year in his career was the 2000-2001 season. He played 82 games, 41 minutes, while shooting 42%, 30% from three, 24.9 points per game, 1 steal, 8.7 rebounds, and 2 assists for that year. And like I said, it didn't really qualify anything because Golden State was trash. I don't even remember who was even on that Golden State team, to tell you the truth, in the 2000-2001 season. Let's see who was on that roster right quick. On that roster that season is Mookie Blaylock, Corey Blount, Eric Dampier, Danny Forson, Adamo Foyle, Chris Gardner, Larry Hughes, Mark Jackson, Adam Keefe, Chris Mills, Chris Mullins, Chris Porter, Bob Sir. I haven't heard of that name in a minute. And coached by Dave Collins. An old Chris Mullins. Yeah, you're not really going to do anything with that team at all. With a bunch of other younger players on that team. So, and they finished the season 17-65. So that can be an argument against him not getting to the Hall of Fame. Because his 24 points per game didn't really qualify for anything. That was the lowest of the lowest in the Western Conference. But his years in Washington, as being second or third option, 19 points a game, 20 points a game one season, 19, 21, 22, 24, 20 again. Let's see. Let's add them all up right quick for him. Let's see here. If we count the 2 All-Stars, the 6th Man of the Year, rookie second team, doesn't qualify. But if you add in his college stuff, which is National College Player of the Year, consensus first team All-American, consensus second team All-American, ACC Player of the Year, 3-time first team All-ACC, ACC Tournament MVP, ACC All-Freshman Team, McDonald's All-American, Mr. Carolina, or Mr. Basketball, and a bronze medal in the 2006 Japan World Championships. I don't know how he gets in. But if you determine a Hall of Fame by talent-wise, what he was able to do, then yeah, maybe. Now, here's the thing I have a problem with, because there's going to be a lot of people who are going to score over 20,000 points, and they play in a lesser time, or easier time in the NBA, which is some of these modern players, and some of these modern players might get in there. That's what I'm having a problem with. I will say this about Antwan Jamison. He is in the College Basketball Hall of Fame, which he deserves, with all those accolades he has had in his college career at North Carolina. I don't know what the Naismith Hall of Fame qualifies as a Hall of Famer anymore, outside of you just totally being the absolute dominant superstar that you were in the NBA. But other players, I don't know. That's why I don't understand how would Draymond Green get in, because Draymond Green never really led a team, you know. And when he had a chance to lead a team, guess what he does? Sits on the bench right next to Stephen Curry, or finds a way to get ejected out of the game. Yes, he had a few years of being good on defense. Yes, he got 4 All-Stars, which is a symptom of him being part of those Golden State Warriors teams. And yes, of course, the rings are too. But talent-wise, Antwan Jamison kicks Draymond Green in his ass. Let's be real about it. But unfortunately, I don't think Antwan Jamison will be getting in. If he does, it'll be a shock. And unfortunately, Draymond Green will be in there. That's the sad part about it. And also, think about it. Antwan Jamison, of course, Draymond Green played at 2 different eras of the NBA. Did he overlap? I think they barely overlap. Actually, Antwan Jamison kind of retired a little early, I think, or maybe not early. Retired in 2014, so that put him at 38 years old when he retired. Um, Guess that's the perfect time to retire. I don't know about his peak. What would have been his peak? Probably during the Golden State years. I don't think he. I think he kind of. I don't want to say went downhill, but since he was part of that Washington Wizards team who had Gilbert Arenas, which Gilbert Arenas was one of the top scorers at the league. I should say in the league at the time. I think his peak was probably Golden State, and a little bit, probably just Golden State, and then became a second and third option with the other teams he was on. So I don't know. We have to see. Compared to Tom Chambers and even, especially Tom Chambers, but compared to Tom Chambers and Joe Johnson, I don't know about him. I definitely think Tom Chambers should be in there. But we have to wait and see what happens. I thought at one point in time there wouldn't be. I don't think Tracy McGrady was gonna make it, but shoot, woke up one morning and found out Tracy McGrady is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So who knows what happens? Maybe they will count the college career. Usually, I think they count everything. But I know college has their own Hall of Fame. I know overseas ball or FIBA has their own Hall of Fame too. Some NBA players are part of all three, but we have to see. But tell me what you guys think.